So as an amateur cinematographer, one of the first things I've learned is that shooting B-roll by yourself is hard. Those walking shots, the shots where I had myself walking towards the camera and walking away while holding this C200, I had to shoot that on my own. I brought the EOS R and just like mounted on a tripod and then just sat it down. I used an 85mm lens and I had to like focus it right and everything. I had to use like manual focus. It was kind of nuts. But it's fun. It really is fun to kind of get outside and shoot these B-roll shots. And it's intriguing to me because in reality, there was a time when I probably never would have tried these kinds of things, right? I would have just kind of kept my head down and kept myself in, you know, sort of shunted away from stuff like that. And not necessarily because of the fact that I found it daunting, but because of the fact that it was outside of my comfort zone. And it's interesting because we as people, I think, have this tendency to create these kind of boxes for ourselves, right? There's actually a video coming out soon from Mariah. She wanted to talk directly to you guys, and she wanted you guys to get to know her better in terms of really not so much how we met with regards to the video we made, but kind of the stuff that came afterwards. You know, the idea of me asking her here to Colorado and different things like that. And in that video, she makes reference to how coming out here scared the hell out of her because it was outside of her comfort zone. It was outside of her box. And in reality, it's not really an anxiety thing. You know, in my mind, it's really more of a human comfort level thing because we as people like comfort. We like to be comfortable. We like to know that what's here today is going to be here tomorrow. And we don't really like things that intrude on that comfort. The only time we really make an exception is if the ends really seem to justify going through all that trouble in order to achieve that. And it's kind of cool because as people, our own comfort zone is relative, right? There are some who just never leave their house and they're not even really agoraphobics. They just don't feel comfortable doing it, right? I mean, they're just kind of like, okay, you know, the world outside there is a little more than I can handle. I'm just going to go ahead and stay in here with what I know. For others, it's a little more expanded than that. Then you have some that seem to have no limits, right? Doctors Without Borders. Some person sits down and they say, well, I want to make the world a better place. And there's people out there in the world that don't have adequate medical treatment. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get them the kind of treatment they need. We as people do these things. And I guess the overall gist here, the overall message here is don't be scared of new things, right? You know, being in the comfort zone, it is comfortable. That's the very definition of what a comfort zone is. It's a comfortable place. It's a place whereby you can go there and be assured that everything within that space is safe, right? It's the nature of the beast. You know, you want to make sure that you're safe. I mean, some people would argue it's more of like an evolutionary stance. I think that as people, you know, as human beings in our current form, with us having sentience, we're not really bound by evolutionary imperatives, right? I mean, people would say like it's human nature. Well, I mean, it was human nature for us to shit in the bushes, but we still invented toilets, right? I've mentioned that once before. So just because something's human nature doesn't mean we're bound by it. But at the end of the day, getting out there, trying new things, experiencing new things, that's really how you grow as a person, right? A lot of you guys have asked questions about confidence. A lot of you guys have asked, what builds confidence? How do you get confidence? As if it's some kind of, you know, enigmatic, mysterious force that exists out there that only Yoda can tap into. The confidence is strong in that one. The reality is that confidence comes from getting out there and doing things, knowing what you're capable of, right? Because if you get out there and you say, okay, I'm gonna grab my iPhone and I'm gonna buy a $60 gimbal, which you can, and I'm gonna take this thing out there and I'm gonna start recording, you know, cinematography, then as you do that, you'll get better at it. And as you get better at it, there may come a time when you're like, okay, I mean, this isn't really what I thought it would be, so I'm gonna go do something else, but you're wiser for the victory, right? Because you sit down and you say, okay, I know I could do cinematography. That's something that kind of goes into your repertoire, right? I mean, a lot of people ask about confidence in relation to like women, right? I mean, go out there and ask women out and get rejected and get accepted and get your heart broken and get in relationships and make mistakes. That's how you gain confidence. You learn what you should and should not do. You learn your strengths and weaknesses, and you learn how to improve your weaknesses and turn those into strengths and how to keep your strengths strong. These are all the things that come from just getting out there and doing things, right? Like getting out there and trying new things and experimenting with life and seeing, you know, seeing what you succeed at and what you fail at and learning from it, right? Because it's not enough to fail. A lot of people let failure get the better of them. And it's one of the things that I never fully understood, right? A person gets out there, they fail, and they give up, right? They kind of quit. You know, like they get out there in the dating game and they find somebody and they get married to that person and their marriage lasts for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, like one or 2 years. And then like they end up getting a divorce. And so as a result, they quit, right? It's almost like they live their life by this philosophy. If at first you don't succeed, give up. And that doesn't really make any sense, right? It doesn't really make any sense to live that way. You know, you got to get out there and just keep on going. Now, there's all the little nuances that get stuck in there, right? I mean, mean, you know, depending on the circumstance of the divorce, the person cheated on them, or if the divorce takes place and they lose like everything, then it'll be very, very hard for them to like get out there, right? So it's not as simple as just get out there and do things. It gets a little more nuanced than that, but the overall gist remains the same, that you got to get out there and you got to live your life, right? You only live this life once. You only get one life. You only get one shot. There's no do-overs here, right? There's no GTA 5. You know, you're walking across the street, you get hit by a car, wasted, and then you start over again. You respawn at the hospital. It doesn't work that way. You know, you only really get one shot here. And the job that we have is to make the most of it. Is to make the absolute most of this life that we have, to fail and to succeed and to fall in love and fall out of love and to have families and have kids or do whatever it is that inspires you, that makes you want to, that really drives you, right? And it might take time for you to find that. It may take years for you to find that. I know people out there who were in their 50s and 60s and never figured it out. I know people who started in their 50s and didn't find out until their 70s, right? I mean, my granddad was like that. Like, you have to find things that inspire you. You have to find things that motivate you and drive you, that really kind of push you towards the person that you want to be, and then jump headfirst into it and just see where it takes you, right? It's like a river current. You jump in and it takes you to where, hopefully to where you want to go. I guess the river current might take you to a waterfall where you plunge to your doom, but you can't think negatively. You can't think about it in a negative way. You got to think about it in a positive way. Get out there, live your life, have experiences, and who the hell knows what might happen? Who knows where that road might take you? You know, this is the kind of thing we've talked about before, but I feel like videos like this kind of just need to be made every so often, because people's memories is only ever 2 weeks long, right? So, I mean, it's easy to forget when it comes to that kind of thing. But I think these kind of videos are important because hopefully they motivate you guys, and hopefully they inspire you guys, and hopefully they you know, when you walk away from this, even if only for a moment, you say, you know what, I am gonna go try something new. I am gonna go experiment with something, or experience something that I've never experienced before, and see what happens. I mean, I really kind of hope that's the takeaway that you guys get from this video. But in any event, that's enough rambling for me. I'm gonna go ahead and bounce off here. I'm gonna jump in the truck and head home, and I'm gonna edit this video, and then actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the basement, and myself and Mariah are shifting up the entire basement, and we're gonna turn it into a live streaming setup, meaning that we have to get a new chair. But we're gonna turn it into a live streaming setup, and we're gonna start live streaming with you guys. I need to get a power cable for the 1DX Mark II, because I think we're gonna use that as the camera. We could use a C200, but I use this as a vlogging camera mostly, so I don't really feel like having to take this thing off the tripod and, you know, go around and vlog and stuff like that. But yeah, we might use that. I don't think the EOS R comes with a power cable of sorts. I think it's strictly like a portable camera. But either way, like we've got stuff that we're working on in order to like engage with you guys more and hang out with you guys and talk to you guys, because you guys love hanging out with us as best you can, I guess, hanging out with us over the internet. We might do like a straight like Q&A live stream at some point, but I think at this point we're just kind of experimenting with gaming and just sort of seeing where it goes. And we're gonna do it on YouTube. I don't think we're really gonna do Twitch. Either we might start with YouTube and go to Twitch. I don't know. We're trying to figure that out, and we'll get it sorted as we go along. But yeah, enough rambling. I'm hungry. I'm gonna get some breakfast. I'm gonna go home, and yeah, we're gonna bring this video to an end, and I will catch you all later. Peace.